everything fans think they know about Dutton Ranch Season 2 is only the beginning. The latest updates have completely changed the future of Beth and Rip's story, and the first details about the next season are raising even bigger questions. A new enemy is waiting in the shadows, old secrets are ready to explode, and one decision could change the Dutton family forever. The biggest surprise is that Season 2 is no longer just about revenge. It is about survival. The first look has revealed clues that point toward a much darker chapter, while the expected release window is giving fans hope that the wait may not be as long as expected. If these hints turn out to be true, Season 2 could become the biggest and most emotional chapter of Dutton Ranch so far. Ever since the dramatic ending of Season 1, fans have been asking one question more than any other. When will Dutton Ranch Season 2 finally arrive? While Paramount has not yet announced an official release date, there are several strong signs that the series is already moving toward its next chapter. Behind the scenes, the production team appears confident about continuing the story, and that alone is exciting news for everyone who has followed Beth and Rip's journey from the very beginning. The biggest update is that the creative direction of the series is entering a brand new phase. Whenever a successful show begins its second season, the pressure becomes much greater. The first season introduces the world and its characters, but the second season has the difficult job of making everything bigger without losing what made fans fall in love with the story. From everything we know so far, that seems to be exactly what the creators are trying to accomplish. The first look information suggests that Season 2 will immediately continue the story after the explosive finale, instead of jumping months or years into the future. That decision makes perfect sense, because too many important questions remain unanswered. Carter's kidnapping changed everything. Beth and Rip no longer have the luxury of carefully planning their next move. Every hour matters, and every wrong decision could place Carter in even greater danger. Unlike previous enemies, Mariano is not someone who loses control because of anger. He is calm, patient, and always thinking several steps ahead. That makes him far more dangerous than anyone Beth and Rip have faced before. He understands that hurting Carter hurts Beth and Rip more than attacking the ranch itself. Instead of fighting for land or money, the battle has now become deeply personal, and personal wars are always the hardest to win. That is exactly why the opening episodes of Season 2 could feel much more intense than anything we saw before. Rather than slowly building toward danger, the danger already exists from the very first moment. Beth and Rip know they cannot simply wait for another opportunity. They have to act quickly, but Mariano expects them to do exactly that. Every move they make could easily become part of his larger plan. One detail that many fans continue discussing is the mysterious ending involving Rob Will's death. The finale never gave viewers a clear answer about who actually pulled the trigger. Instead of showing the complete truth, the story deliberately left room for speculation. That mystery alone creates the perfect opportunity for Season 2 to surprise everyone. Sometimes the person who appears guilty is actually protecting someone else, and sometimes the real truth remains hidden until the moment it can cause the greatest damage. If the writers decide to explore that mystery further, it could completely change how fans look at several important characters. Relationships built on trust could suddenly collapse if long-hidden secrets finally come into the light. That has always been one of the strongest parts of stories connected to the Yellowstone universe. The biggest twists usually come from emotional betrayals rather than action alone. Another interesting clue comes from Beth herself. Throughout Season 1, she proved once again why she remains one of the strongest and smartest characters in the franchise. She refused to compromise her principles, even when doing the right thing placed her family in greater danger. That strength will become even more important in Season 2 because Mariano understands that Beth cannot be manipulated through fear alone. He will likely try to attack the people she loves instead. Rip faces a different challenge. For years, he has solved problems through loyalty, courage, and determination. But this new conflict cannot simply be won with strength. Mariano's network appears much larger than anyone first realized. If Beth and Rip rush into battle without understanding who they are really fighting, they could easily walk straight into another trap. That means Rip may have to become more patient than ever before, something that has never been easy for him. Another reason fans are excited is the possibility that Season 2 will expand beyond the ranch itself. The criminal operation introduced during the first season feels much larger than a single property or a single family. If Mariano truly controls a wider organization, Beth and Rip may discover that stopping one man is only the beginning. Every answer they uncover could reveal an even bigger secret hiding underneath. Meanwhile, Oriana's pregnancy has quietly become one of the most important storylines moving forward. At first glance, it may seem like a personal family matter, but it actually changes the future of both families. The child represents hope during a time filled with violence, betrayal, and uncertainty. That alone gives every major character a new reason to fight for the future, instead of remaining trapped by the mistakes of the past. The expected release window is another reason for optimism. Although nothing has been officially confirmed, industry patterns suggest that if production begins soon, fans could realistically see Dutton Ranch Season 2 arrive sometime during 2027. Of course, television schedules can always change, but the strong performance of Season 1 makes it very likely that the creators will want to keep the momentum going instead of making viewers wait for years. Perhaps the most exciting part of this first look is not what has already been revealed, but what continues to remain hidden. The creators have shared just enough information to build excitement while carefully protecting the biggest surprises. That usually means the next chapter contains twists they do not want fans to discover too early. And if Season 1 taught us anything, it is that nothing in this story is ever as simple as it first appears. By the time Season 2 begins, Beth and Rip will no longer be fighting only for a ranch. They will be fighting for their family, their future, and the legacy they have worked so hard to protect. Every choice they make could change the lives of everyone around them, and every victory will likely come with a painful cost. If the first look is any indication, the next season is preparing to raise the stakes higher than ever before, setting the stage for a battle that could redefine the future of Dutton Ranch forever. The biggest question going into Season 2 is simple. How far is Mariano willing to go? After everything that happened during the Season 1 finale, it is clear that he is no longer fighting for money alone. He wants complete control, and more importantly, he wants Beth and Rip to suffer. That is what makes him such a dangerous villain. He does not rush into action. Instead, he waits for the perfect moment to strike, and that patience could become his greatest weapon. I think the opening episodes of Season 2 will focus on one mission above everything else. Beth and Rip have to find Carter before it is too late. Carter is no longer just the young ranch hand fans have watched grow over the past season. He has become part of their family, and Mariano understands exactly how much that means. By taking Carter, Mariano has forced Beth and Rip into making impossible choices. Do they risk everything to rescue him immediately, or do they spend time learning more about Mariano's organization before making a move? Either decision comes with serious consequences. Rip has always trusted his instincts. When someone threatens the people he loves, his first reaction is to fight back. But this time, charging forward without a plan could be exactly what Mariano wants. It feels like Mariano has already prepared for every possible move. Every road Beth and Rip take may already have someone watching. That means Rip may have to do something he rarely enjoys. He may have to slow down and think before acting. Beth, on the other hand, has always been the strategist. She knows that winning a war is not about one battle. It is about understanding your enemy better than they understand you. I believe Season 2 will show Beth investigating Mariano's operation piece by piece. Instead of focusing only on Carter's rescue, she may begin looking for the people financing the illegal business, the ranches involved in the smuggling network, and the powerful individuals hiding behind Mariano. If she can destroy the operation from the inside, Mariano may lose everything without Beth ever firing a single shot. Another storyline that feels ready to grow is Oriana's future. Learning that she is expecting Carter's child completely changes her life. Throughout Season 1, she found herself caught between loyalty to her family and her growing connection to Carter. Now those emotions become even more complicated. She is no longer making decisions only for herself. Every choice she makes could affect the future of her child. I think Beth will become one of Oriana's biggest supporters. While Beth is known for being fearless and incredibly tough, she has also shown that she protects people she considers family with everything she has. Seeing Oriana struggle through fear, uncertainty, and the growing conflict could remind Beth of many painful moments from her own past. Instead of judging her, Beth may decide to stand beside her, offering guidance when she needs it most. At the same time, Rip may begin looking at Carter differently. During season 1, Carter often acted without thinking about the consequences. He made mistakes, ignored advice, and sometimes let his emotions control him. But becoming a father changes a person. If Carter returns safely, I think viewers will see a much more mature version of him. He may finally realize that protecting a family requires responsibility, patience, and sacrifice. Those are the same values Rip has tried to teach him from the beginning. There is also another mystery that cannot be ignored. Who really pulled the trigger that killed Rob Will? The finale intentionally avoided giving fans a clear answer. That decision feels too important to be an accident. If the writers wanted the audience to know exactly what happened, they easily could have shown the entire scene. Instead, they left several important details hidden. That mystery opens the door for one of Season 2's biggest twists. Imagine if the person everyone believes is guilty actually turns out to be innocent. Or what if another character secretly witnessed everything but has remained silent out of fear? Either possibility could completely change the relationships between several major characters. Trust is difficult to rebuild once it has been broken, and Season 2 could test every friendship and every alliance that currently exists. Another character I believe deserves much more attention is Bula. By the end of Season 1, she had lost almost everything. Her family had fallen apart, her ranch had become connected to criminal activity, and every decision she made came back to haunt her. Those experiences could completely transform her character moving forward. Instead of fighting to protect the past, Beulah may finally begin thinking about the future. She understands that continuing Mariano's operation will only create more violence and more heartbreak. If she truly wants to save the ranch, she may have to make the hardest decision of her life. That could mean trusting Beth, even after everything both families have been through. If that happens, Mariano will become even more desperate. Losing control of the ranch would also mean losing one of the most important parts of his criminal network. For years, he has depended on that operation to build his influence. Without it, his power begins to disappear. That could push him into making bigger and far more dangerous moves than ever before. There is also the possibility that Season 2 introduces new allies for Beth and Rip. Every powerful enemy creates powerful enemies of their own. People who have suffered because of Mariano may finally decide they have had enough. If those people join Beth and Rip, the balance of power could begin to change. But trusting new allies always comes with risks. In a story filled with secrets, nobody can be trusted too quickly. The expected release window also continues to give fans hope. While nothing has been officially confirmed, everything points toward the creative team wanting to keep the series moving forward as quickly as possible. A successful first season usually encourages faster development, especially when so many storylines remain unfinished. If production begins in the near future, fans may not have to wait as long as they originally feared. One thing feels certain after everything we have learned. Season 2 is not simply trying to repeat the first season. The stakes are much higher, the enemies are far more dangerous, and every character now has something deeply personal to lose. That combination has all the ingredients for a season that could be even more emotional, more suspenseful, and more unforgettable than the first. And if the first look has already revealed this much, there is a very good chance that the biggest surprises are still being kept secret until the day the new season finally arrives. As exciting as the action will be, I think the real heart of Dutton Ranch Season 2 will be the emotional journey of its characters. The first season proved that this story is not only about protecting land or defeating enemies. It is about family, loyalty, and the sacrifices people make for the ones they love. That is exactly why the next chapter has the chance to become even stronger than the first. One of the characters who could see the biggest transformation is Carter. If Beth and Rip manage to rescue him early in the season, the experience will almost certainly change him forever. Being kidnapped by Mariano would leave emotional scars that cannot simply disappear overnight. Carter has always wanted to prove that he belongs with the Dutton family, but after surviving such a terrifying experience, he may finally understand what being part of that family truly means. I believe Rip will become more protective than ever before. Throughout Season 1, he treated Carter like someone who needed discipline and guidance. But after nearly losing him, Rip may begin looking at him as a true son instead of just another young cowboy learning the ranch life. That shift could create some of the most emotional moments of the entire season. Beth's relationship with Carter may also reach a completely new level. Beth has always hidden her emotions behind strength and confidence, but viewers have seen many moments where her love for Carter quietly shines through. After everything that has happened, she may become determined to give Carter the stable future he has always deserved. That does not mean she will suddenly become soft. Beth will still be fearless and brutally honest, but her actions may show an even deeper level of care. Another storyline that feels ready to grow is the mystery surrounding Whitney. Her disappearance remains one of the biggest unanswered questions from season 1. The writers spent valuable time building her story before she suddenly vanished, and that makes it difficult to believe her role is finished. Characters rarely disappear without a reason, especially when they are connected to larger mysteries. I think Whitney could return with information that changes everything. Perhaps she discovered something about Mariano's operation before disappearing. Maybe she found evidence linking powerful people to the illegal business. Or perhaps she has been forced into hiding after learning a dangerous secret. Any of those possibilities would immediately raise the stakes and give Beth and Rip another important reason to continue fighting. Everett is another character who may play a much bigger role in season 2. During the first season, he struggled with the truth about the ranch and the people he cared about. Learning about the illegal operation changed the way he viewed almost everyone around him. But despite everything that happened, it never felt like Everett completely stopped caring about Beulah. I think their relationship could slowly begin to heal. That does not mean forgiveness will come easily. Trust takes time to rebuild, especially after years of lies and painful decisions. However, both characters have suffered tremendous losses, and sometimes those shared experiences bring people closer together. Everett may never agree with the choices Beulah made, but he may finally understand why she felt trapped for so many years. At the same time, Beulah herself could become one of the strongest characters in the series. Losing her family, watching her ranch become connected to criminal activity, and realizing how deeply Mariano manipulated everyone around her may completely change her outlook on life. Instead of trying to protect old secrets, she may decide that honesty is the only way to save what remains of her family's legacy. If that happens, Beulah could become one of Beth's most valuable allies. That partnership would have been impossible during season 1, but difficult times often create unexpected friendships. Both women are intelligent, determined, and willing to fight for what they believe is right. Working together, they could become a serious threat to Mariano's plans. Of course, Mariano is unlikely to sit back and watch his empire fall apart. Every time Beth and Rip move one step closer to exposing his operation, he will almost certainly strike back. What makes him so dangerous is that he understands patience. He knows that the best attacks are the ones nobody expects. Instead of direct confrontations, I think Mariano will focus on creating fear and confusion. He may spread false information, turn allies against one another, and force Beth and Rip to question who they can truly trust. Psychological warfare can often be more effective than violence, and Mariano seems like exactly the kind of villain who understands that. Another interesting possibility is that Sheriff Wade becomes much more involved in the investigation. By the end of season 1, the situation had grown far beyond a simple ranch dispute. There were murders, disappearances, illegal drug operations, and a kidnapping. Those crimes are too serious to ignore. Wade may begin putting together pieces of evidence that reveal just how large Mariano's network has become. Austin could also return as an important ally. He risked everything to expose the truth during the first season, and that courage may earn Beth and Rip's trust moving forward. His knowledge of the criminal operation could become extremely valuable as they search for weaknesses inside Mariano's organization. One thing I also expect is the introduction of new faces. Every successful drama expands its world during the second season, introducing characters who bring fresh conflicts and unexpected alliances.